on Tulga Tumur, and he is really, really good in this position right here. And this is something that man, you feel safe in this position. And then you'll see, right here at 240 rises up, and man, he just jacks that over. It's really good. It's very strong and powerful, and it's something that if your head is up, right, and he can just get under you just enough. And this right here, a lot of guys are fighting this underhook side, which is important, but this over tie is extremely important to stay out of. So really, really good stuff. And then here he is on his feet at 310, and you're going to see that it's just like really wicked that he crashes his whole entire body, drives up in, and then goes from a high to a low. And if you watch his feet, uh, it's really, really cool to see how he brings his body down, and he really pulls. I mean, really pulls hard on that arm. And he's done this several times. I mean, I've watched him several times where he doesn't have to have the underhook to hit it. So you can see as he gets in these positions, he doesn't have to have that underhook, and I'll show you here in a minute. Okay, this is Tulga versus Yanni, and you're going to see right here that he drives in for that underhook right here, and he really doesn't have that underhook that deep, but man, he can force down hard on that and take you for two there. So just to show you that again right here, it's very, very powerful, and it's off his over tie, and it's coming from a high low. And he takes his head like right off the mat. He'll just drop straight down and take his head to the mat. Really, really, good stuff. The other thing that I want to talk about here is at 324. You're going to see when he gets this tie up, he gets an underhook, and Yanni does a great job, right? He has head position in his collar tie, but watch what Tulga does here. He pops his shoulder underneath right there, and this is a powerful position for him. And Yanni still feels safe from this position. He ends up getting pushed out from there. So I think that it's very, very important to keep your head down, and it's this shoulder movement. You want to keep your head there, and that little shoulder movement right here, from here, when he pops his shoulder underneath, uh, he just got pole position right here. And I want to show that with Bajrang here, and it's the same thing right at 215. You're going to see that he ends up getting the underhook here, and then see that little shoulder push. This is important because this is where he needs to be. So just a little shoulder push right there. And so once he pops that shoulder, it's, that's pole position there. And then, Tasha, really, really, really good stuff. So how about one more time? We'll watch that right here. And, and it's almost like, he lulls you into it. He drives in, right? Puts pressure in, takes a couple steps back, and then just nails it. And, a lot of guys are really thinking, that it's safe because this underhook side is soft. It's the death grip that he has on the left side is what's popping guys to, and catching them off guard. And then here is, Nick Lee, and He's in a similar situation right here at 1 minute. You're going to see that uh, he feels safe here. There's that little shoulder pop, right? So let's watch that shoulder pop again. So this time he double knee dropped to get it. So see that little knee drop to get his shoulder underneath. And you do not want to give that head position up. So you want to keep your head down, right? Now he has the shoulder. And I think Nick felt like really comfortable right here because he's pushing this arm in. So he feels safe because he doesn't have the underhook. And this, he doesn't have a deep underhook. It's the left side in that death grip that he has high up in this arm on the other side that you have to be concerned about. And kind of Nick like walked right into it and got popped. Now, once you know it's coming and you have that feel, now that's not going to happen to Nick again. But off of this shot, do you see what just happened there? He shot. He should have stayed. He should have kept his head down, right? But he doesn't. He pops his head up, and now this is pole position, like I said before. Where he's just going to drive him out of bounds and get a point. And if Nick would push back, then he would pop him. So right here at 237, you're going to see the same thing. That he gets underhook position. This is his position that he wants. See Nick Lee's head's up, right? And there's nothing he can do about it. He gets pushed out. It's good stuff. All right, so how do we defend it? And I love using these other guys. I mean these guys are both awesome. And you see David Taylor. Brooks has a world class underhook, right? David Taylor has his head and his collarbone. And what's he going to do? He's going to shoot in on a single there. So definitely something. It's definitely something that we can copy, right? And this position, even if you miss it, it's much better than having your head up. But he kind of turns it into offense there, and he does this with Yazdani, right? And it was almost like a strategy. If you watch this match, that Yazdani's going to pop that underhook, and he keeps his head down, right? And then he stays down in this position, and because this position, obviously, he has the advantage, but he's not world class in short offense, and neither is Tulga. But when you come back up to your feet right here, and this guy gets an underhook, it's a world class underhook, right? So that's why you have to bury your head. You don't want your head to pop, right? And he comes down into a single from there. And this is a much better position to fight against. And I always love using these old guys. John Smith is so awesome. But a couple things, right here, you'll see. I mean, this is an underhook guy as well. And what does he do? He hides his elbow. All right, and when you hide your elbow, it takes away his offense, meaning that you're dictating position. So he wanted to grab that wrist, and now that wrist isn't there. So if the wrist isn't there, what's he going to do? He's going to grab his head. And then when he grabs his head, obviously, this guy has a world-class duck under, right? So, he's going to pop it and get into his leg attack. So it's just really, really cool to see. And he does this, John Smith, like at 4:03, he does something very similar to what David Taylor was doing. So if you see this right here, he gets the underhook, right? Now, once he has the underhook, John Smith already has head position. So he has his head buried in head position right here, right in that collarbone. But here's the cool thing. There's another side. This side right here, he has elbow control. it's unbelievable elbow control. Like he's popping up, he puts pressure in, comes down, and then he hits that duck. And obviously John Smith's known for his low single, but let me tell you something. It's a world class duck under. And guess what he's doing it off of? He's doing it off an underhook. So really, really cool stuff. All right, the big message here is to stay down. So you're going to see how Yanni scores, or he doesn't score. He just doesn't give up a takedown here, because when you stay down and your head's underneath, he's controlling the elbow. This position, Tulga does not score from. So I've watched 10 of his matches, and he does not score from here unless Yanni would come up to his feet. Then he would be in trouble, right? So this is a position that you can feel safe in. And so right here at 8:14, you're going to see the exact same thing, to where he gets down underneath. Hey, you miss it, stay there. All right. So this gives you options to where you can do leg attacks. Yanni, obviously he got tossed already, so he's staying down and controlling this elbow. But it's a great way to defend from here. And, you just have to watch being pushed out. And then, also Joey McKenna does this. Let me go to him here in a second. All right, here's Joey McKenna, and, he's in the same position, right? And Tulga can't score on him. He's going to try to jack you up, but you just keep elbow control, and you can feel safe in this position right here. So extremely important to understand that going up and having your head up, no good. You're much better off going down. All right, I like to see how other guys are defending. And this guy, Abbas, does a great job of defending. I'm going to put it in slow-mo. You see what he just did? When he went for his underhook, he dropped straight down and secured a wrist right there. So let me see if I can get that exact same spot again. So, he's going to come for that underhook. He dropped right down and attacked that wrist right here. So bringing it down and attacking that wrist and then pushing it by. And then, what he does is, you're still not out of the water, because, remember, just because you have the wrist, he's got this death grip over here on the right side. You see what he's trying to do right here? So you got to pull that arm out, but he has this wrist. So, he can feel safe about him not shooting there. So I think that this was really nice, how he came down and attacked that wrist, but also how he pulled his arm out. Now, when you pull that arm out, he's coming at it so hard. I think if he had a little bit better position, he could go into a leg attack from here. From right here, instead of coming so high. Get that arm out and go after a leg attack. And you could see right here at 6 minutes, he also does something really nice that I saw that it would be nice to replicate. And what it is he's putting his elbow in, and he's holding this wrist right here. And so that's stopping him from getting that underhook. And he's I think it kind of frustrated Tulga because you can see here that, he still has that wrist. He can pound the head off of it. And there's just opportunity from there. Look how him push that arm away. There's just opportunity there to, number one, frustrate him, but to possibly score. And right here at 7:02, this is definitely a tendency that happens with him. So you can see that he doesn't give up the underhook because he has this wrist, right? And you're going to see that he's going to get on the head because he doesn't have this wrist, right? Well, no, he keeps this wrist, and he's in good position. But what does Tulga want to do? Do you see this hand coming up? He wants to come up and get that death grip behind your tricep or your armpit. And when he does that, Abbas goes right underneath it. So if if you can have good head position right here, so let's do this slow mo again. So he has Abbas's wrist, but he has good head position, right? Tolga's going to reach for that arm. So you could see that Abbas actually has the elbow in, and as he's reaching for it, he shoots underneath and gets in on a leg attack. So pretty good stuff. Now let's move on to a couple other things. All right, back to Yanni's match. This is something to definitely be concerned about right here. You know, he has an underhook right here, and he gets to his position. Right, this is pull position for him. This is where he wants to be right here, and then he lets go of the underhook, and then does an arm spin. You know, and he does it right here at 847 as well. So you're going to see him, you know, drive up in right here, and then go for that underhook, and then hit that arm spin. And I just wanted to show you that he does this off of your shot. So when you shoot and you miss it, remember, don't pop your head, right? He should have had his head underneath, secured an elbow. But because he popped his head, here Tulga, has pole position. I keep saying that, but I like that's what Tomlin said the other day about Russell Wilson. So good stuff. He's got a good arm spin. I want to show you a couple other things that he does well. All right, this is against Joey, and you're going to see he has an underhook, and he just has a nice leg attack from here. So underhook, head outside shot, right? So pretty good stuff. Where underhook, head outside shot, and then the same with Joey here at 523. You're going to see the same thing, right? Where this time he's going to have an underhook and now go ahead inside shot. So anytime that that he has just an underhook and he doesn't have the death grip over on the left side, this is a time to be definitely concerned about his shot, right? So he has head inside, head outside from there. Thing I want to show is how guys are scoring on him. So here's Yanni, and he hits this inside reach, which is like really nice. So left hand on the head, inside reach, and then he comes up into like a backside finish, or no, he pushes him out here, but no, yeah, backside, yeah. So that looks really similar to how Retherford would finish, right? So this is for you, Zane. You come in and then really nice job of driving up in, and then come back and get that back door there. But you get him in this position, you're gonna score. So that's an inside reach off of him, and let me show you one that Bajarang hits. So here's Bajarang, and you're going to see that he has very nice, just let me just see here if I can get that again at 516. He hit a collar tie right here. He's on the elbow, right, and he's reaching for that leg and attacking that Tulga's right leg. So definitely, it's like I kind of think that just like John Smith, right here, like look what Tulga's or look what Bajarang's doing. He's hiding this elbow, right, and he's keeping his hand back, and he usually likes to grab this wrist. So there's nothing to grab. So what does he do? He comes onto the head, and then from the head, we have a leg attack from there. So really important. And the last thing that I want to focus on, as you start to watch the end of this match right here. So here's at 528. Here's another leg attack. Like, look, he has he has like pole position, so to speak, but he's tired. So if you have a strong pace like Bajarang, I mean, he really pushed him and worked hard throughout this match. He starts to tire out, and then you can see it. And I really like what he does from this. He drops down and circles down to that leg from there. So this is something that later on in the match when he's just like kind of like hanging on because he's tired. This is a definitely a nice option. And right here at 542, you're going to see that he's just pounding and keeping the pace and driving in. He snapped into a leg attack, and it's just like awesome stuff that he pushed him to this limit. And you can see that Tulga's starting to break. So you have a good pace there, and it just opens up a lot of opportunities. And this was like really cool, that you got that leg trapped there, comes and gets a turn, and you could just see that he just kept pushing the pace, and now it's like Bajarang is the man, right? And now instead of Tulga pushing, it's Bajarang pushing. And so one of the big things that when he went to get this underhook, he went over to Tulga's like death grip side, right? And then when Tulga goes to grab that, he pulls it back, and gets into a front headlock from there. But I think this is definitely a weakness that you can exploit. You got to put the pressure on him. It's late in the end of the match, and you can just see that he's a different wrestler, and that he shut down some of the offense that he was doing earlier. All right, man. That is a scouting report on Tulga Tumur. He's awesome, but he definitely can be beat. All right. Have a great day.